James Charles was no stranger to spectacle. He had lived under the spotlight since his teenage years, at times celebrated as a trailblazer, at other times vilified in headlines and memes. But through all the chaos, one thing never changed: his ability to create moments. Moments that broke the internet. Moments that sold out products. Moments that redefined what it meant to be a beauty influencer in the digital age. And this time, he had set out to create his boldest moment. It wasn't just another YouTube tutorial. This was bigger, bolder, cinematic. A beauty campaign that fused storytelling, production, and artistry, shot like a music video, scripted. Like a short film, executed with a precision few influencers could even attempt. He wasn't partnering with a studio. He wasn't leveraging a brand budget. This was James, putting $100,000 of his own money on the line. Every frame, every light, every brushstroke, it was personal. The campaign was for Painted by James Charles, his self-funded line. And it was supposed to mark his full-circle comeback, but as the launch date neared, an uneasy silence crept in. James had built the campaign expecting that certain past deals, specifically unpaid royalties and performance bonuses from Morphe, would finally come through. He claimed they owed him $2.2 million. That money wasn't a bonus, it was part of years of collaboration, the payout for selling millions of products through their platforms. He waited. And waited. And the money never came. Rewind a few years. And Morphe and James Charles were the definition of a power duo. Their 2018 eyeshadow palette launch broke industry records. It sold out instantly, restocked, and sold out again. At the peak of their partnership, James was everywhere: billboards, malls, PR packages, YouTube front pages. His face was inescapable. But like all rapid rises, theirs came with cracks. The controversies began stacking. James's public feuds, most notably with Tati Westbrook, led to millions of subscribers lost overnight. Though he regained much of his following, Morphe distanced themselves during the chaos. Eventually, they formally cut ties. But business continued behind the scenes. Even after their public fallout, Morphe still owed James residual payments from their past collaboration, a financial thread that had never been fully cut. So when James began building his $100,000 campaign, he did so with the assumption that the brand would settle its debts. He had been in communication. Contracts were signed. Payment was overdue, but not denied. At least, not yet. With this hope, he moved forward. The video was meant to be a masterpiece. High concept, stunning visuals, slow-motion effects, dancers. Glam shots, bold transitions. A metaphorical transformation sequence showed James smashing a mirror, symbolically destroying the scandals of his past. From the shards emerged a new, elevated persona. Viewers described the aesthetic as a cross between HBO's Euphoria and a Fenty campaign. It was that level of quality. That level of drama. He launched the teaser on TikTok, and it disappeared. No explanation. The clip was removed, flagged, possibly by the algorithm, possibly by something more intentional. He tried again. Another. Ban. Again and again, each attempt to showcase his $100,000 investment was buried. Whether it was the music, the visuals, or a shadow ban, James was left speechless. His masterpiece couldn't even get off the ground. To say the campaign flopped would be unfair. Artistically, it was a triumph. But financially? It was a disaster. The money was gone. The TikTok algorithm had choked its reach. And the payment. From Morphe, the $2.2 million he was counting on to recover the investment? Still nowhere in sight. So, James broke his silence. In a video that was equal parts confession and confrontation, James looked directly into the camera, not glam, not scripted, just honest, and told his side. "I don't want to be involved in drama," he began. "But at some point, you can't keep quiet while a company walks away with millions they owe you." He revealed that for nearly a year, Morphe had ghosted him. Emails ignored. Phone calls unanswered. Legal inquiries stalled. "I did everything right," he said. "I followed up. I waited. I remained professional. And they still won't pay me." The video detonated online. #PayJames trended across platforms. Reddit threads exploded with speculation. TikTok creators rallied behind him. Even drama channels, often critical of James, agreed this wasn't gossip, it was theft. Creators of all sizes began sharing their own payment horror stories, their own contracts with brands that had gone quiet the moment things got complicated. Industry insiders confirmed it. Former brands, Morphe's parent company, was in financial free fall. Bankruptcy filings were in motion. Stores were closing across the country. Palettes were being discontinued. Influencer deals were being terminated or, in James's case, ignored. The documents showed millions owed to multiple creators, James among them, but unlike others, he refused to be silent. He took to YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, any platform that would listen, and made his message clear: this is about more than money. This is about respect. About creators not being disposable. In one clip, he said, "If this can happen to someone like me, with a platform, a team, and lawyers, what about the thousands of small creators out there being ghosted by brands every day?" He had a point. The beauty industry had been built on the backs of creators, and yet, as the recession loomed and profits fell, the very influencers who built the brands were the first to be discarded. James was no longer just a YouTuber promoting products, he had become a whistleblower exposing a failing system. Legal TikTok lit up. Creators analyzed contract loopholes, discussed force majeure clauses, and debated whether Morphe could legally dodge payment under bankruptcy protections. James hinted that he was pursuing legal action. Not out of vengeance, but necessity. "I'm not suing because I want drama," he said. "I'm suing because I did the work, I held up my end, and they didn't." Through it all, James continued creating, but with a new tone. He focused on education, how to protect your business, how to read a contract, how to demand clarity from brands. He turned his pain into a platform. It resonated. Months passed. Morphe's official channels remained silent. The brand that once flooded Instagram with creator collabs now posted nothing. Their website removed all references to James Charles. In bankruptcy court, his name appeared alongside dozens of other creditors. Whether he'll ever see the $2.2 million remains uncertain. But what's clear is that his voice has ignited a fire in the creator economy. James Charles, once the face of makeup scandals, had become the face of creator advocacy. And maybe, just maybe, that's the most powerful transformation of all. In the final moments of his video, James stood in front of a black background, holding the very makeup palette he once launched with Morphe. "This used to mean success to me," he said, quietly. "Now it's a reminder to protect yourself. To know your worth. To speak out. Because silence protects the wrong people." He looked into the lens one last time. "And I'm done being silent." So, what's next? For James Charles? Will he reclaim the millions owed, or will Morphe's silence become the final word in this explosive beauty fallout? One thing is certain, this story is far from over, and the world will be watching for more juicy celebrity gossip, behind-the-scenes scandals, and drama you won't find anywhere else. don't forget to follow, like, and subscribe to CelebScoop 247. We've got the tea, and we're spilling it hot, daily.